factors, and a third of adults polled believe or are unsure if COVID-19 vaccines cause infertility. Experts and public health officials are united in saying there's no evidence that vaccines impact fertility.
Fallen Officer Paramount Desai.
He's run over 1,040 miles since 2019 as part of his Florida-based nonprofit Running for Heroes.
Even though we can't bring their first responder back to the family, we can help them heal and let the family know that with the Running for Heroes, their memory of their first responder will,
ever want to see. And then here we are, we're about to go to another one.
The many funerals reflected in the various law enforcement officers Scott Holmes has been helping as a behavioral and mental health specialist.
They become numb to the cares of the world because they're so busy fighting and they just totally forget about themselves.
Holmes says the demand for mental health professionals among first responders has grown throughout the pandemic.
One thing about trauma, a lot of times people hold it in, that when a colleague dies due to gunfire or whatever it may be, I see this, I'm giving up, I don't want to do this anymore.
And the pandemic has also kept cartilage running, keeping legacies alive. A mile for Deputy Marshal and another for Officer Desai.
these two first responders would still be actively serving their community, still having kids to go home to.
In the last 2 hours, funeral arrangements were announced for the Henry County officer. Sunday, there will be a viewing from 9 to 11 near the child's home, praying for his safe return. An emotional scene tonight. His tearful mother and father and grandmothers pleading for any tips that will help bring the child home. Clarkston police say the toddler was kidnapped nearly 24 hours ago while his family was inside the family's SUV. The GBI and the FBI now involved in the search. 11 Alive's John Sherrick is on the case tonight with the very latest developments.
I talked with Blaze Barnett's mother just a few minutes ago, and she is, of course, laser focused on finding him fast. Family and friends have been searching the area near the family's apartment where police found the family's SUV, but without Blaze inside of it. They've been posting flyers. Clarkston police conducting a massive search around the clock. Blaze's mother, Deanna Bray, is hoping the GBI will be able to lift fingerprints from the SUV to help them identify who stole it, with Blaze in the back seat in his car seat. And she is pleading for his safe return.
If you're afraid, have a relative drop them off, or like a friend or something. Reach out to us, reach out to the police, because I know they're frantic. I know they're scared, so they probably just dropped him off at a family member's house, someone they know that can handle, a baby or something while they figure out what they're going to do. That's what I'm hoping they did.
Ms. Bray tells me she cries in private, thinking of how Blaze was just taking his first steps, thinking of how he's always wanting her to hold him, thinking of what a tough time he's going through right now without her, and asking people with information, anyone who has.
It's driving new entrants, new institutional investors into crypto. And what I'm talking about there is endowment funds, believe it or not, at universities. Pension funds are investing in crypto, along with us normal people in the retail investment sector.
What does crypto have to do with the Braves World Series victory, Walmart, and Ivy League MBA programs? How is that troika all tied together?
Boy, when you say it like that, it sounds like one of those Sesame Street games, which doesn't belong with the other. But, they all go together, believe it or not, starting with the Braves. And what a terrific win for the community here. I can tell you that crypto is going to be a big part of the merchandise and collectibles industry moving forward. We talked before about NFTs, non-fungible tokens. And just like folks used to collect cards and memorabilia of all sorts for their favorite teams and players, now people are collecting at the digital level. Mark my words, there will be very, very, very pricey items in the digital space up for auction and for purchase to commemorate this incredible Braves victory. The second thing I would say is with respect to thinking about Walmart. One of the things we were talking about behind the scenes a little bit is how is Walmart connected to all of this? Well, recently, Walmart announced that they were going to host more than 200 Bitcoin ATMs across their footprint. And look, we can have the debate, the Target Walmart debate another time. The people at Walmart are smart cookies, and what they see is the future, and that's why they're investing in having these ATMs on their properties across the United States. And last but not least, we heard some interesting news from an Ivy League business school, Wharton. Obviously, it's no Emory University where I attended for business school, but they are the first university to accept cryptocurrency for tuition payments. They will not be the last.
Why did 6.4% for the year? Unbelievable. The price hike in gas comes as AAA expects more than 53 million people to travel for Thanksgiving this year. Savannah Levin spoke to economists about how this could impact your search for a vehicle and even your holiday travel plans.
The used car market is crazy.
Visit any car lot.
Thank you for calling Classic. This is Devin.
And you'll see a lot of empty space.
Normally, I would carry close to 400 new cars in stock. I have 5.
And salesmen like Perry Jones who say they've never seen anything like this.
Watched a Cadillac Escalade sitting in Georgia with 161 miles on it. Originally MSRP $79,000. It went for 112.
A global shortage of microchips led to a shortage of new cars, which led people to scramble for used cars instead, causing prices for both to skyrocket. Used vehicle prices increased 9.2% in October and a whopping 38% over the last year. That's according to the Used Vehicle Value Index from Manheim, the world's largest auto auction company.
It's going up significantly.
Marty Parker is a supply chain expert and lecturer at UGA. He says it's not only the chip shortage, but also inflation, now at a 13-year high, driving prices up, plus increased demand as many are having to commute to work again for the first time in over a year.
All of these factors together are a perfect storm and are not helping us at all.
He says if you have a car you don't need, this is a great time to cash in and carpool. But if you need your ride, don't be tempted by dealers offering to buy it from you, even if they're offering more than what you paid, because this crazy market likely isn't changing anytime soon.
Do you foresee or estimate a time when we might get to a more stable place?
I'm hearing out a year or 2. It could be longer.
This is all also impacting rental cars. Online booking company Kayak says searches for rental cars for the upcoming holidays are up 230% from this time last year. So if you're traveling in the next couple months and you need a rental car, might want to book that in advance ASAP.
More for everyday items like food and gas. Inflation in October coming in hotter than expected, with people now paying 6.2% more for goods than they were a year ago, the largest annual increase in 30 years.
The American people are mad, and they realize that we're not going in the right direction.
Meat, fish, and eggs up 11.9%, beef rising 20.1%, electricity spiking 6.5%. The Biden administration pointing to supply chain disruptions as the driving factor behind the price increases.
The pandemic continues to poke holes in our ability to get goods to where they need to go.
Republicans warn the price jumps are another red flag for Democrats to pump the brakes on a nearly $2 trillion social spending bill they argue would only overheat the economy.
What's on people's minds are the fact that, again, they may not be able to get the things they need for Thanksgiving. If they do, it's going to cost more. If they travel, it's going to cost more.
House Democrats are still pressing for a floor vote on the bill next week. The Federal Reserve has said inflation is transitory, but some economists are questioning that sentiment, warning things could get worse before they get better. In Washington, Mallory Rivera, Fox News.
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder what kind of a kickback they were getting for what. That's not 5 foot. Why do they always insist on putting them where they can't? I don't understand that. I hate when people tear stuff up for no reason. Go in the storefront. Death putting the ankle down. Oh, raising Cain about somebody else's dog over here. A fella I know. That's a sweet little dog too. Another beautiful day in the neighborhood. You can even see the moon up there.